Okay, I think I see the issue now. So it's less about am I saved than it is about what does being saved even really mean. And I think this is a good thing to talk about because I do think that a lot of people get stuck here. So I think what being saved really means is that you come into a relationship with your rescuer, which means that you have a certain level of awareness that you need to be rescued. Like you've come to the realization that you either can't or don't want to do it all on your own. You want to have Jesus. You want to have the peace and the joy that the Bible promises us. And so you make the decision to come into a relationship with Christ. So maybe where you're getting stuck is that that's where you're stopping. Like you've come into a relationship with him and then you just say, well, got Jesus now what? See, I think a lot of us are really used to the way that the world does relationships and dating and marriage, because the world tells us that you date somebody for a little bit, you get to know them for a while, and then you get married and that's it. You don't have to get to know them anymore. You already know them. There's nothing left to do. And when it comes to Jesus, it's a little different. It's a little backwards from what we're used to with the world. Because see, with Jesus, you will never stop learning about him. Ever. And with Christianity, it's almost like you've got to accept the marriage proposal before you ever date the person. So once you've said yes, once you've committed to him, then you got to do the work to get to know him. You have to ask him to reveal himself to you. You have to really understand who it is that you're in a relationship with. Because I think for a lot of people, especially those of us who've grown up in church, we think we just know it. Like we grew up on the Bible stories. We grew up hearing all of this stuff. We think we just know all there is to know about Jesus. And so then when we get saved, now what? But see, the Bible reveals who God is in general, who he is to everyone, who he always has been and always will be. But now you got to figure out who he is to you specifically. That's the missing link. If you don't know who he is to you specifically, then you don't really know who you're in a relationship with. So if that's how you feel, then I would encourage you to really get to know him. Really get to know his character. Really get to know who he is and what he has to say about you specifically. And as always, if you're not sure where to start, that is the reason why I wrote my book, 7 Days to a Life of Limitless. It is everything that I learned in the first 3 years of my relationship with God. It's available on Amazon, but you can now get signed copies on my website as well. Hope it helps.